Well, hey everybody, I'm Jon Moxley with another countdown. Top 30 favorite New Japan G1 Climax 29 tournament matches. And it's a little difficult to just decide on a top 30 because if you take a look at the field, the field of participants for this tournament, it was goddamn good. Sure, there were a couple you could argue maybe shouldn't have been in there and maybe you could have switched some out, but still, by and large, the talent level top to bottom was absolutely great. So, you had 20 guys. You had two blocks, A block and B block, and nine matches for each block. So basically, who ended up with the most points, since it's round robin style, would win each block. They would fight in the finals, and then whoever won the finals would earn the right to go to the Wrestle Kingdom 14 main event. And since that's going to be a 2-day event, which I'm going to have to take the time off for that because that's going to be really fucking exhausting. In fact, I think it takes place on a weekend, so that's going to be a whole lot of fun. The whole point is, people are going to go all out. And yes, okay, you're going to get matches that are kind of here, but a lot of the matches are goddamn incredible. So to just get down to a top 30 was really difficult. And I'm sure there are ones I've forgotten about. And you can check out my reviews, and you guys can look at the field and figure out which ones you particularly enjoyed and leave your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear that. So here we go. No honorable mentions, just going with the top 30, and probably going to be pretty quick on some of these. Because, again, I reviewed all of them before, but I just want to give you the ones I particularly enjoyed. And, again, open the comment section, you guys. Number 30, just making the cut, Juice versus Shingo from night 2. And it went about 15 minutes. I wrote down the times and everything. And this was good stuff. I really like what they did with Shingo here. Sure, he didn't win the tournament, obviously, but he had some really, really good performances. And him and Juice, almost of equal size. I think Juice may be a little taller, but Juice and Shingo just, tore it up here. Some really hard-hitting stuff. And a great way to kick off night 2. And you had a week difference between night 1, which was in Dallas, and then a week later, like I believe on the 13th, I think it actually was exactly a week, you had night 2. And really, the Japanese crowd was just absolutely electric for everybody. I mean, yeah, they booed the heels and cheered the babyface and stuff like that, but Juice and Shingo, it's a match I didn't know I wanted to see, and I got to see it, and it was some good stuff. And we go back to Shingo again. This is on night 8. He took on Jon Moxley. It was just under 15 minutes as well. Really good stuff. I really enjoyed the hard-hitting affair that this was. And Moxley had a damn good G1. I mean, he won his first 5 before losing his last 4. And it was a good way for him to have some good balance, and he held Shota Umino, and I want that as a buddy cop drama. Or a comedy or whatever. I want that to happen. Please, New Japan, make it happen. But Moxley and Shingo had a really, really good hard-hitting match as well. And then we go on to number 28, Lance Archer versus Bad Luck Fale from night 2. Not the last appearance for Lance Archer here. Last appearance for Fale. And this is mainly chalked up to Archer carrying Fale here. I mean, Fale did not belong in the G1 this year. He really didn't. I didn't care for a lot of his matches, except this. It was two monsters colliding into each other, and for 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes, it was really well done. I enjoyed this match quite a bit. Archer had a really great tournament as well, even though I think he won his first 2 matches, and I think he won his last one. I think he won the last one that he had. So, yeah, he ended up with, a 3-6 record, but still, Archer had a really good tournament, and I would like to see him get a singles push coming out of this. Still, 2 big monsters colliding with each other. Had to put the match on the list. Number 27, Goto versus Shingo from night 18. The way this was all worked out, it went like 15 minutes. The way this was worked out is with the tiebreaker between, I believe it was Goto, Naito, Jay White, and Jon Moxley, is if Goto won because he had a tiebreaker over Moxley and Jay White, the idea is if Goto won, all that would need to happen is Jay White and Naito later would have needed to draw, or White would have needed to beat Goto, and then Goto would have gotten in the finals somehow. It would have been similar to how he got in the finals, I believe, in 2016. But that ended up happening. Shingo won. But this is another hard-hitting match as you're going to get with these guys, and it was really goddamn enjoyable. It was great drama. Goto, I thought, had a really good tournament as well. I don't know if Goto's going to get like a U.S. title match or like an Intercontinental title match or something like that, but I would like to see Goto get a championship shot at some point. I'd like to see them continue this momentum a bit. I get that not everybody can be on top all the time because that would be very crowded. It would also be very difficult to do in a wrestling company, but Goto, I think, deserves a chance. Sure, is he going to get that many more chances? Who knows? He had a really good tournament, though. And then we move on to number 26, Tanahashi versus Sanada for night 9. That's 18 minutes, and it's goddamn good stuff. Really goddamn good stuff. I'm glad to see that Tanahashi was able to come out of this tournament not completely broken. Because I love Tanahashi, but I'm starting to think if this isn't his last G1, and it may not be, I think next year's his last G1. I just can't see how Tana is going to be able to continue this momentum. I mean, he won last year's G1. Great matches and stuff like that. Great finals with Ibushi. But I'm starting to think maybe he's breaking down a little too much and that there's nothing he can do to stop it. I mean, hey, Father Time is undefeated and Tana has beaten everybody there is to beat. He also put over some people in this tournament, so we're going to get to that. But this match with Sanada was pretty goddamn good, as was the match that Tanahashi had with Evil, though that's ranked a little bit higher on this list. Number 25, Kenta versus Ibushi from night 1. And it was about 20 minutes. This one's ranked lower than I would like. I was really much more excited for this match. Now, it was a good match. It was a very, very good match and belongs on this list. But at the same time, I don't know if it was maybe nerves from Kenta or something like that, or maybe they were trying to work a different style. I'm not too sure on that. But something about this match kept it from being like a top 15 or top 10. It was still well worked, and Kenta getting the victory and going on a bit of a run until he ran to Okada was pretty damn good. It did set the stage for Ibushi rising back up. But something about this just seemed a little bit off to keep it from like top 20 or top 15 or even top 10. So, more than solid effort from these guys, and the Dallas crowd did love it. And then we move on to number 24, Archer versus Osprey, also from night 1. Bit shocked to see Archer go over here, though I guess it makes sense since Osprey was still, and is still, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. But still, I was a bit stunned that Archer won here, but in retrospect, it actually was a pretty good idea to give Archer a couple wins over, Osprey here, then Fale. And then his last match, I'm sorry, I sort of forgot that, but I enjoyed this match quite a bit, especially looking back on it. I actually did watch it back on New Japan World recently, like I think it was like about a week ago. And I was like, okay, you know what? I will put that on my list because it was enjoyable. And the whole EBD, Everybody Dies claw, they put that over as a pretty strong finisher, like how everybody was legit scared to get hit with the claw and stuff like that. They were not the toys from Toy Story. Yes, the little three-eyed aliens. Yes, I'm going there. That's how old I am. I think I was 14 when that movie came out. But Archer and Osprey had a really good showing here. And Archer being Osprey, right call. Even if I didn't agree with it at the time, and you could check out my review for my initial thoughts, I do get it now looking back on it. And then number 23, Goto versus Nitro from night 6 was 16 minutes. Really good stuff. I don't think there was really any argument this match was going to be pretty goddamn good. Goto in defeat could look really good. Same with Naito. And these two tore it up. They really did. Some of these I may skip over, some of the finer details of. But anyway, we go to number 22, Osprey versus Kenta for night 15. That was about 16 minutes. I really was excited to see this match. It did not disappoint, as I was surprised to see Osprey beat Kenta. Kenta, I think, after winning his first 4, I think lost his last 5. So, it was like a hot start and everything, and then he didn't have a really good finish. So Kenta did some pretty goddamn good shit on the show where the finals took place. Like, joining Bullet Club, and then the whole thing with Shibata and that great return, even though I think it was only a one-night return. I think it was. I don't think Shibata's going to return. It'd be cool to see, but bleeding on the brain that he apparently suffered, maybe it's not a good idea. Who knows? Who knows what medical science has done? Who knows? But Kenta had a good showing here with Osprey, and Osprey winning over some surprising people. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think Osprey only ended up with like 8 points total. But his wins mattered. When he won, it actually mattered. And he did some pretty good stuff. I believe he beat Sanada. He beat Kenta. He beat Tanahashi. And who the fuck else did he beat? I'm kind of drawing a blank here on this stuff because it's hard to remember some of this stuff. Even as great as this tournament was, some of the stuff blended together for me. Osprey versus Kenta, though, great stuff. It really did establish how Osprey can move up in the heavyweight and can actually match with a lot of people. And I think they're going to build to that. I think Hiromu Takahashi hopefully is going to come back and take the title from Osprey. Maybe they do that at Wrestle Kingdom and then Osprey turns full-fledged, heavyweight after that. And then we get to number 21, Evil versus Osprey from night 13. 17 minutes. Evil had a goddamn great tournament. I really enjoyed this match. I enjoyed a lot of what Evil did. I think that he could do just about anything if really they let him just say, hey, go out and tear it up and everything, just have a great match. Evil's capable of that. And I don't know if he's ever going to be the main champion, but goddamn, I want to see him get a singles run with the title. I mean, I've been watching New Japan Live for close to 2 years now. I would like to see some guys get a chance before it gets to where they're in their later 30s or even their 40s and they're broken down and stuff like that. And I think they need to capitalize on stuff like Evil. I mean, they have a good depth on their talent roster. Give some people a chance because the crowd really was buying into a lot of what Evil did. And him and Osprey really did tear it up here. Number 20, Okada versus Tanahashi from night 1. Went about 22 minutes. Shortest G1 match I believe that they've had. Shortest match I believe they've had in quite a while. And I knew there was no doubt Okada was going to win. Tana winning would have been shocking. I wouldn't have complained. But it was a goddamn good match. It needed to main event. It clearly did. And the crowd loved it. They did. Though there were a lot of empty seats there, the crowd that was there did love this match. And it's Okada and Tanahashi. How could I not put it on this list? Was it their best match? No. But was it a great match? Oh, yeah. They had a better match at last year's G1 when they ended up in that, 30-minute tie. Still, this was a great goddamn match. Number 19, Osprey versus Zack Sabre Jr. Night 11, it was about 20 minutes. It was high flying versus submissions. And my God, it was so goddamn great. It was just two Brits just absolutely destroying each other and just going out to prove who is the best and put British wrestling on even more of a map on a big worldwide stage like this. I'm not saying that other British wrestlers haven't done that, but in the G1, this is a big goddamn deal. They made the most of it. And goddamn if it was great. Actually, you know what, now that I think about it, yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. actually had a good tournament. He didn't have a great tournament, but he had flashes of, some good performances and stuff like that. I enjoyed what Osprey and Zack Sabre Jr. did here, though. And then we get to the MVP, one of the MVPs, I think co-MVP with Ibushi. Tomohiro Ishii versus Tetsuya Naito for night 8. It was about just 19 minutes. How could I not enjoy a Tomohiro Ishii match? Now, not every single one of his matches is dominating the last part of this, lineup here, but quite a few of his matches are, because Ishii always shows up in the G1. He showed up in last year's G1 doing really well. Ishii is, as long as he's able to do this, if he's able to perform at a high level like this for a couple more years, he's going to be seen as one of the greatest G1 competitors. Yes, there are others that have been in more G1s. I mean, by God, Tanahashi's been in so many of them. Okada, various others. So many have been in so many goddamn G1s that, yeah, Ishii may not be in the most of them, but my God, how can you not cheer for a guy that's putting in that much of an effort? And him and Naito, come on. It's just a tank like Ishii taking on the Tranquilo, and that's how you say it, by the way, not Tranquillo. Like JR used to say, I know, he's Southern. I still can't get over that. It's still funny. But with Naito and Ishii in here, hard to beat that. It really is. And then we get to number 17, Jeff Cobb versus Tomohiro Ishii. About 18 minutes was from night 2. Two more tanks just smashing into each other. And good Lord, I love this match. I absolutely loved it. I thought Ishii had such a great tournament. And no, there was never any doubt he wasn't going to win it. I knew he wasn't going to win it. I hope that Ishii is going to win it every year. I hoped he would win it last year. I knew he wouldn't. Though he had that great match with Omega where he beat him. This one, he had more breakout performances or more, just tremendous performances. A couple of them I'm going to get to here in a little bit. Him and Jeff Cobb, just two guys, two big legs. It was like another monster movie. Not on quite a level of Archer and Fale, but still quite goddamn good. And then we get to number 16, Sanada versus Zack Sabre Jr. from night 1. 21 minutes, 12 seconds. Symmetrical. I love it. It seemed like the live crowd was, I don't want to say shitting on this match, but they weren't as into it, which I understand because it was a very ground-based, submission-based match. And Sanada, yes, is a high flyer, but there's some submissions. And of course, Zack Sabre Jr. is a submission master. Easy for me to say. This was a great match, and I would argue was the best match of night 1, in my opinion. And I know that maybe is a bit controversial, the best of the tournament matches that I enjoyed. This was just so goddamn good. It just was. How in the world could you not enjoy a Sanada versus Zack Sabre Jr. match? I mean, I know Zack Sabre Jr.'s style isn't for everybody's cup of tea, and it isn't for everybody, but come on, guys, he's really goddamn good. He is, and I mean, I could enjoy a lot of his matches. Now, I admit that there are times that some of his matches have been very hit and miss to me, but there's no argument here that he is one of the best, and Sanada is so goddamn good too, especially when he wants to show up. So, because sometimes he can coast because he's just that good. Then we go to number 15, Tomohiro Ishii versus Shingo Takagi. And for night 16, fucking hell. 2 more guys smashing into each other. Great main event match. Really, really was. This was absolutely incredible. I was wondering what they were going to do here, and were they going to have Shingo win because Shingo had lost to Naito recently in the tournament. Were they going to give Shingo a win here? Because, you know, it's obvious Ishii wasn't going to be in the running for the tournament. I think he was close to being eliminated here, and had he won, he might have been like in the running. But there was some really, really good stuff here. And Shingo getting a victory, I think he was like even putting over Ishii, like crap, he's tough, and he is. And it was just fucking great. It was just a fucking great match. Go watch it. 2 powerhouses smashing into each other. And number 14, another Tomohiro Ishii match. Ishii versus Goto for night 12. Yeah. It was fucking great. I think their match last year, I think they faced off in the G1 last year. It was a better match last year, but still, 18 minutes, great action. Come on, watch this match. Some of these I'm just going to skip through, but this was a really good match. Number 13, Tanahashi versus Ibushi, night 13. Just under 16 minutes. The idea was, could Ibushi finally get a victory over Tanahashi? Well, yeah, he did, and it was great. And there was like a show respect thing at the end. I think Ibushi was like even saying thank you, and the Tana, like, it was almost passing of the torch. Now, Tana passed his torch to a couple guys, it was the right call to have Ibushi win here. Even if Ibushi had been in the running before, or even if he had been ahead, it was the right call to have him beat Tanahashi here, especially after the finals last year, where we were all hoping Ibushi would win. And I wasn't upset that Tanahashi won. I was just surprised that Ibushi didn't. And now that Ibushi has signed a full-time contract, it was the right call to do that, and it was great stuff. Well done. And really, like, Ibushi winning here was monumental. Even if the match was a little bit shorter, I think it was the right call, because both guys had already been in such long matches before. This was great stuff, though. It's such good shit. And then number 12, Tanahashi versus Evil, night 11, and that's 23 minutes. This is also great stuff. Tanahashi taking down both members, or 2 members of LIJ, Evil and Sanada, former IWGP Tag Team Champions. And I loved it. I love this stuff. I was a bit surprised Tana won, but then again, it sort of led to that Ibushi. It sort of led more to the drama of that Ibushi match that I just mentioned. But this was very, very, very good stuff. Evil did not look weak. Tana managed to pull out the victory just at the last moment. I liked it. I really, really liked it. Then number 11, Okada versus Evil, night 15, 27 minutes, and Okada had a lot of long matches here, and he won. I almost wanted Evil to win, because Evil had beaten Okada in a previous G1, and the idea was, okay, maybe Evil could do it, and then he could challenge down the road, because Okada had already tasted defeat at Sanada. Could Evil equal what Sanada did? And he didn't. And I think that's kind of telling, and they're gonna plant the seeds on that, because Sanada beat Okada, but Evil didn't. It'll be very interesting to see what happens going forward. I hope they don't do a thing where they have Evil split away from LIJ, but everything is Evil, so who knows? He may end up doing that. But this was a very, very good match, very long match. You're going to get that with a lot of Okada matches, but still very enjoyable. Go watch this from night 14 at number 10. It's Naito versus Shingo, 27 minutes. Goddamn good stuff between the main, pretty much the main guy in LIJ. I think we could all agree with that. That Naito's the main guy in LIJ versus the newest guy in LIJ. And boy, did they tear this up. It was great. I mean, I know I say tear this up a lot. I mean, that probably could be a hashtag on this. I'm not going to put it, but my God, this match was absolutely great. I actually thought Shingo was going to win. I really did. I knew he wouldn't, but they made me buy into it quite a bit. Because Shingo was going to be out of the running at this point, even though he had had a few victories. Naito was still close to, being eliminated, but it's like, okay, if he kept winning, he might, get some tiebreakers and stuff like that. And this was just very, very good, a very well-worked match, a very, a way to help Shingo arrive, without winning. And that's just exactly the drama that they told, and it was very good stuff. And then Naito even putting over Shingo, saying, I was right to bring you into LIJ because, he made the right decision. And they'd known each other for years before. So it was a nice way to tie this all together and still keep the group together while having Naito win, and Shingo looked so strong. And then we get number 9, Hirooki Goto versus Jay White, night 2, 21 minutes. I was wondering what they were going to do with Jay White. And when I saw that they had him lose the first 3 matches to various Chaos members, I was like, okay, they're doing some good shit here. This was a very, very good main event. I wasn't sure how they were going to go with this. Goto winning was great. That the way they told that story, Goto finally winning over Jay White, because they'd had matches before. I think it was either Wrestling Dontaku or something like that, but it was really good stuff. Goto got the crowd on their feet, gained the victory. It was a nice way to have Chaos get their revenge on Jay White, and then Jay White come storming back and everything, and get into the finals, but then still lose, which was the right call. I know some of his fangirls weren't happy, but that's okay. It's not like Jay hasn't been given a rocket push anyway. So, Goto winning, right call, 100% good match. Number 8, Okada versus Ibushi, night 17, 25 minutes. Well, Ibushi managed to beat Okada, so therefore, they're not going to have him beat Okada twice in less than 6 months. They will. If they don't have Ibushi beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, if it's like night 1, I would be floored if they didn't. Now, I know you could go back to the whole thing of Naito and Okada for Wrestle Kingdom 12, but Ibushi now is committed and has signed a contract to stay with New Japan. So I would be very, very surprised if they don't go with that as a way to get the crowd like even more into it. And I mean, that's not to say push Okada to the side. Fucking hell, the guy's still going to have plenty of IWGP title reigns. But they've given him so many title reigns. He had that one that was like 720-something days, that ended last year at Dominion. And a great match with Omega. And then Omega's title reign went all downhill. But anyway, now we have Okada, who's probably going to have the title he's had it since G1 Supercard. By Wrestle Kingdom, he will have had almost 9 months. That's long enough. Then Ibushi can have it till Dominion or something like that, lose it, enter the G1, and do something like that. Or he could hold it for a year. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. But I think with this, it was Ibushi winning, getting the victory, getting just a nice, satisfactory way to get to win the A block and everything, because it was a tiebreaker. If Ibushi won, then if they tied, Okada would still win. If I recall correctly, because then if Ibushi won, they would be tied in points, but the tiebreaker would go to Ibushi. So it was a nice way to set up the whole thing. And Goto really did a good job doing this stuff with the tournament, and whoever else is a booker. If it's just Goto booking, Goto, you're a goddamn math genius. So, number 7, Osprey versus Tanahashi, night 17, 17 minutes. You could argue that this match maybe is ranked a little bit too high compared to a lot of the other classics, but it was about the passing of the torch moment. Osprey beating Tanahashi, the ace versus the assassin, the ace-assin, and then I realized once again that line sounded a little bit dirty. But with this, it was a way of Tanahashi saying, hey, okay, Osprey, you're committed. And Osprey probably should be committed for all his offense and all his crazy stuff that he does. This was a great match. And it was like Tanahashi saying, okay, you're one of the guys now. You can help take my spot. I don't think Osprey's ever going to be mean to New Japan what Tanahashi did, but Tana, I think, recognizes his time is nearly up. And I know it sounds like I'm burying Tanahashi. I'm not. The guy's friggin' ace. He's great. But eventually you got to just step aside. And especially for the sake of his health and the fact that he could see his kids grow up. So, Osprey and Tanahashi was great. Osprey beating Tanahashi was a bit shocking to me, though I guess it shouldn't have been. And the post-match stuff was absolutely great. Just the show of respect between the guys. It was a great match. Okada versus Kenta, night 9 is at number 6. It's just under 27 minutes. This was really, really good stuff. I really enjoyed this. I couldn't understand why this match took so long to happen, and it was because, Kenta was in WWE Purgatory essentially for the last couple of years of his career. But this was a great, it was between two unbeaten guys. Okada managing to get the victory pulled out. There were some hard slaps, kicks, chops, everything in this. Great drama. Please go watch this match. Number 5, Ibushi versus Jay White in the finals. 31 minutes. Why is this not number 1? Because it wasn't as good as Tanahashi versus Ibushi. Now, it was good in a different way. You had all the stuff of Jay White trying to cheat to win and everything, as you would expect. And Ibushi overcoming everything, them hitting their respective finishers, but can't capitalize. And eventually, Ibushi got the 1, 2, 3 with the second Kamigoye. And that was the right call to make. So it was very, very good stuff. And yeah, it's number 5. Okay, maybe not ranked all that great. Oh, wait, guys. I have a little thing to show on here. By the way, his pick for MVP, he didn't like Fale being in there either. Oh, really? What's up there, bud? What's up there? His favorite, who was your favorite? His favorite was Ishii and Ibushi. Those were his co-MVPs. He's a wise cat. Anyway, I had to have the producer appear on screen. I call him my producer. By the way, make sure to adopt. Check your local shelters and stuff like that. Check your PetSmart, check your other pet stores and everything, and adopt, because about 2 years with this cat. Pretty damn happy. So anyway, excuse me if you hear some little scratching, because he's like just enjoying the catnip. So we move on to that. So Ibushi versus Jay White was a good match. A very, very good match, but it wasn't as good as these next 4. Number 4, Ibushi versus Osprey, night 5, 27 minutes. It's Ibushi and Will Osprey, and neither of them died. That's a good thing. They both also hate their necks. Ibushi more so. I thought we were going to get an Ibushi Naito final. Fortunately, we didn't, because I don't think that I wanted to see anybody lose their neck that much, so or at all. But Ibushi and Osprey had a great goddamn match. The exchanges were incredible. This is one of the longest matches of the tournament, where there was a 30-minute time limit. So go watch this. Very, very good. And then number 3, Sanada versus Okada, night 13. Second longest match of the tournament. Literally within seconds of being a tie. But Sanada managed to finally get Okada down long enough, hit the Muda Moonsault, 1, 2, 3. I think it was 29 minutes, 47 seconds. So it was within 15 seconds of being a tiebreaker, or being a tie. This was great. I absolutely love this match. I was actually surprised that Sanada beat Okada, but in the end, it actually made sense after they had their match at G1, or not G1, for the New Japan Cup Finals to go to the G1 Supercard main event, and then the match they had at Wrestling Dontaku. This was a very, very good match, and a nice way for, okay, I beat you in 2 straight matches, Okada, or Okada beat, Okada saying, I beat you, Sanada, in 2 straight matches, and then Sanada's like, okay, I got this one, and then we leave, can Sanada tie break it, or, cause a tie? No, he can't. He's not. It'll probably be a King of Pro Wrestling, my guess, in October. But I think we know that Sanada's not going to win. Still, it was a great match here, and proved that Sanada could beat Okada. Number 2, Tomohiro Ishii versus Jon Moxley, night 6. It was 20 minutes, 36 seconds, and great stuff. Ishii diving off the ropes through a table. With Moxley on it, by the way. Ishii isn't quite that insane. There were a lot of tables being used by Jon Moxley. I wanted to put Moxley versus Jay White on here. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I mean, that could be an honorable mention, I guess, but I didn't enjoy as much as I thought I would. Not a bad match. But anyway, Ishii and Jon Moxley really did have an incredible encounter here. I didn't know how much I needed this match until I saw it. And night 6, I believe it was the Korakuen Hall. Boy, the Korakuen faithful were on fire for this. But number 1, Okada versus Osprey, night 7, 21 minutes, 56 seconds. Why is this number 1? Because they made me buy into Osprey beating Okada finally. They made me buy into it. I actually thought that he was going to do it. I was like, holy fuck, he's going to do it. It's like, I kept thinking, there's no way he's going to do it. No way he's going to do it. Oh, fuck, he's going to do it. He's actually going to. He didn't. Okada won. But even though this was just a few seconds shorter than Tanahashi match, and like nearly 8 minutes shorter than the match with Sanada, I was actually just amazed at just how this is the best match that they had had. It was better than the 46th anniversary show match that they had last year, and other matches that they'd had. Not that they were bad matches, but this is probably the best one that they've had easily. And it was great stuff. Honestly, it really was. Okada got the victory, but Osprey had a lot of really good matches as well. So please leave in the comments what your favorite G1 Climax 29 matches were. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And just to close, I am Jon Moxley. Remember to adopt, don't shop. But make sure you give pets a happy home. Adopt pets deserve the love too, don't they? Okay. And with that little squeak sign off, I will see you soon, guys.